Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Sleep Princess, you're first in the house tonight, babe. Great to see you. Becca Bout, so delighted you're here, honey. Thank you for being here. All right, guys, this is going to be a single storyline. Before we jump in, I just want to remind everybody tomorrow evening I will be going through and selecting one winner from each of the different zodiacs that I've posted this week. They all have me in front of this backdrop if you're wondering which ones are for this week. But if you guys didn't already know this, I've put out all 13 zodiacs because I do Ophiuchus also. And in those, you guys will hear me say that if you want to drop a comment, the comments are on, then that gets you entered to win in the drawing for tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to do one winner out of each of the zodiacs and do a storytelling for one person. Now, in addition to that, that'll be a slightly longer, like 5 or 6 card spread. But in addition to that, also to celebrate this week, this is the week that I got my baby dog 4 years ago. I will also be going live on both channels a little bit tomorrow. So and do shorter card pulls just to celebrate, guys. Just want to spread some good love. All right, so now let's get into this, shall we? By the way, I always have to mention Street Priestess. If you have not checked out her decks on Etsy, I am not affiliated in any way, shape, or form. I just love her art. So I always kind of like mention it because she's one of the people that I keep buying decks from because I just love her art so much. So anyway, if you didn't know about her, now you do. 8 of Wands. Single person who might be choosing some kind of adventure into the great unknown, might be choosing some kind of action taking. Maybe somebody's going to the Caribbean. By the way, this is the Carnival deck that I'm using right now tonight. We have the Fool. Definitely a leap of faith or a new adventure. I feel like somebody's taking a vacation. That's what this feels like. And a single person on vacation, man, that is a fabulous time to possibly have a romance or meet someone simply because you're relaxed. You don't know anybody anyway. So sometimes you wind up meeting other travelers. You have something in common. You're all outside of your normal environment. We got a 9 of Wands, though. This is actually a wounded warrior card. So we may have a single character who's actually out on a new adventure. This does not have to be a vacation, but they might be out on an adventure because this is part of their self-healing. So we may have a feminine who is actively like pursuing some kind of, this could be, hey, I'm going to go hiking in an area of my town that I don't usually go to because I'm like thinking through some thought process of, I've been wounded, but I'm mostly good, but I still want to go and clear my mind a little bit. It could be something as simple as that, or someone is literally taking like a cruise. Maybe they're going to take a singles cruise, or maybe they're going to do something that it's like, I am single. I am mostly healed. And now I want to start acting like a single person. I want to go out and do things. I want to take myself on a little vacay. 3 of Wands. This is very much somebody who's determined that their future is going to be happier, brighter, more successful, more full of light and love. This is somebody who has a beautiful future in mind. They're not living in their past. Are they still a little bit scarred? Yes. But by the way, the single person could be a feminine that we're talking about, but certainly does not have to be. We have the Sun. She's going someplace where the nights are magical. She may be traveling during a full moon, but she's also going someplace where it's like, this is a dream come true for her. Wherever she is taking herself. And the only reason I keep saying she's going somewhere is because that 8 of Wands is activity. And it can be communication too, but I usually couple it with action taking. So wherever she's going is someplace that she's so happy about this. This is so good for her. This is so right for who she is. Very exciting, very sweet, very joyful. And the Empress, she's going to get her full-on happiness back after this trip. Whatever she's doing, she knows she needs this. This is somebody who probably knows herself quite well, and she knows when she needs a break. She knows when she needs some downtime. She knows when she needs to just have a little bit of that extra, bump, that extra push to get herself back into her previously, empowered self. This is an Empress reclaiming her true Empress identity. And to do that, she needs to take care of herself right now. She needs to go somewhere. She needs to do something. Now, this could be a feminine who is going to be giving birth, and she could be a single parent. And she's like, you know what? I'm strong enough to do this. I'm happy to do this. And, actually, I'm thrilled to be doing this. I'm not really leaning heavily toward that storyline. I just think that she's giving birth to her new chapter of life as a completely like reconnected to her Empress energy type of person. So that's really the way I would look at that. Is that the most beautiful card? I just love this art so much. It's so detailed. It's some of the most detailed decks I've ever come across. Six of Swords. Again, we have an island, right? No matter what deck we use, we've got some kind of island energy. So I'm going to say that either she has been an island for a while. And of course, I'm here in Dolly Parton right now. Islands in a string. That is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world and we'll rely on each other. From one corner to another. Sorry. I'm hearing Dolly's little high-pitched, sweet voice right now in my mind. Love that song. Is it Islands in a Stream? Is that it? I think I misquote that every time. I sing it every which way also. But I always sing it really high. And I don't sound nice like Dolly does. This feels like she has either been a bit of an island, and now maybe ironically, she wants to go visit an island. This could be symbolic for her. This could be, I'm taking a vacation to someplace near the ocean to like wash myself clean. But in fact, she's been somebody who was very isolated, She's pulling up the anchor. She's kind of like letting the sorrow drift away because the Six of Swords is about moving into calmer waters. She's not going to be an island anymore. I feel like this is a single person who was very, very wounded. Yeah, very wounded. Felt for a long time like she either got shafted or she, got the short end of the stick or, she got, whatever her hopes and wishes were stolen away and given to somebody else. The Four of Cups is a huge missed opportunity. Now, the thing is on this Four of Cups, and I say it the same way every time, I look at that goose as the universe, and the universe was actually trying to protect her. That's not how it felt to her. She's unaware of that. We don't know if somebody's standing behind us, with the umbrella over us. We don't realize that they're even there trying to protect us. In her mind, she just felt like she lost something she really, really wanted. And now she had to get to that. Okay, I'm hearing another song. George Strait, Easy Come, Easy Go. Vaya con Dios, good luck. Wish you well, take it slow. Easy come, girl, easy go. I feel like that's the attitude now. I feel like she had to open her hand and let that bird fly and trust that something else is coming into her life to replace what she had perceived that she lost. This could definitely have been a lover. This could have been a job. It was something that was so significantly painful to her that I would guess that it was something more like, wow, I thought I met the person I was going to marry and I can't believe it, but they ended up marrying somebody else, or, they didn't pick me at the end of all of this. It could be something like one of those really like devastating things, because I feel like this really threw her for a loop. I can't overstate that enough. This was exceptionally, if you knock an Empress off her game, because an Empress has been through it all, right? An Empress has already been through, hurts and pains and upsets and upheavals. But even an Empress is fallible to, great shock and, great heartbreak. But if you have such a significant experience that it could throw an Empress off her game and she has to regain her Empress status, and I'm going to say it was a very painful experience. So, maybe, finding out somebody's not who you thought they were. That's the pretty devastating thing, especially if you put all your trust there. That kind of situation is hard to get over. But now that would also make sense why the universe was protecting her. It's like maybe she did put all of her trust in somebody only to discover later that they weren't trustworthy. I literally just, okay, we're done with those cards. Where I'm not supposed to talk about that anymore. Okay, we're done with that. Let it go. Easy come, easy go. If they weren't that trustworthy, then we shouldn't give them so much rent in our head anymore, right? So let those thoughts go. Okay, message received. I will not talk about that anymore. That was hilarious. Here we go. We have the Eight of Cups sideways. There are other things for her to like return to. I'm feeling like, when we go on a bit of a healing journey, sometimes it's all we can do to just keep functioning, right? We go to work, we put on our fake smile, and then we go home and we cry because it took us all day to get that energy up for everybody else. She's genuinely getting her happiness back, though. And then as we get our happiness back and we restore that Empress energy, now we start thinking about like, oh, hey, there's all this stuff I used to love doing. I feel more like myself again. I feel like the Empress again. I feel like I want to, whatever, start working on things again that I used to enjoy. I remember all these fun things that I used to do. I want to do those things again. Maybe that's why she's taking this trip. Maybe this is to go someplace that she used to love going. Um, Maybe she just used to love travel or something and she hasn't gone anywhere in a while and it's time to go. We have the Sun again for her. We're going to keep rocking that Sun card. So we know she's going someplace that makes her happy. But of course, first and foremost, what we're really seeing is that her internal energy is restored to her previous happy state before she ever got heartbroken. I know we don't even see the heartbreak card. We have it insinuated because of all the other messages that we've had in this, though. But I love the fact that that's not where we dwell in this story. This is all about the Empress completely like regaining her joy. Double dose of Sun energy. By the way, I didn't mention this, but of course she could be a Leo. She could be a Libra or a Taurus. What else did we have? We had Aries, Sagittarius, and I can't remember. Only one card is face up, and the two that I plunked on the ground on accident. What's coming in next for you? Because you're very clear-minded and you're very happy. King of Wands. This King of Wands admittedly comes out sideways. This could be that she's ready for somebody interesting, somebody fun, somebody warm-hearted. Not necessarily like, oh, bring on the next great lover, but this could be, I wouldn't mind sharing some excitement with somebody. I wouldn't mind sharing, a great conversation with someone. I do feel like if she's taking a trip, she's definitely going to meet somebody who will be interesting. I'm not saying she's leaping into any, big romance. In fact, she probably isn't. She can meet somebody who is so unlike the ex or unlike whomever or whatever hurt her in the past. Because this death card says it could be a bit of a surprise to her. She could be, sometimes when we go through really tough things in life, it changes us internally and it changes the way we view the world. Now, in her case, she winds up being fully restored to Empress energy and joy, but it might change who she thinks is attractive. And this could be a surprise even to her. Maybe before her taste would not have been somebody who has like, well, okay, let me put it this way. Let's say she used to go for very like powerful people because she's an Empress, right? So she could be very drawn to powerful individuals. But what if she discovered that somebody that was a powerful individual was also corrupt and they use their power for unpleasantness, as is very frequent, right? We see lots and lots of those examples. But let's say now she would rather have somebody that is actually kind. They don't have to be so powerful. That's not what she's drawn to first. In fact, she could be turned off by people that are powerful if she senses any element of ruthlessness. So now the first thing that would attract her would not be power. It would be somebody who has warmth. Doesn't mean they won't be just as powerful, but what she seeks first is a different quality. She's no longer, she's changed what she's drawn toward because past experiences teach us how to navigate things a little differently. We've got a Knight of Wands in the reverse. She's also not just looking for a roll in the hay. It's not like the Empress is back, she's taking a trip, and she's just going to go find, a warm body to, spoon with. Hi, sweetheart. We have the Moon. I think she's not sure of what she's looking for, but she might be surprised that she likes somebody different than she normally would. And I think she's going to have to sit back and think about that. I don't think she's immediately drawn to them like, oh, I want to hop in the sack with them. I think she might even say, this person, they draw me, they're warm, they're totally different than my usual, but I'm not like crazy lusty for them. So what is this? What is this that I'm feeling for them? This could throw her for a bit of a loop. Do you want to come up? No? Okay. It just wants to stare at me and tell me where it's about time to take Aries on nighttime walkie. Um, we have the Empress upright again. She does need to recalibrate and ask herself, what is it about this new kind of person that I'm drawn to? It's not that they're oh so sexy. So what is it that I'm drawn to? It's something about the Empress and her is going to be drawn. Maybe she's meeting a person. You notice how she's pregnant here or has a baby in the little bun in the oven here. Maybe she's realizing that she's not necessarily evaluating a potential romantic partner based off of, like let's say power, but more imagining, could I picture this person being good to a child? And I'm not even saying she's, of the age to have a baby or wanting to have a baby. But, when we think about a potential mate and we ask ourselves that question, like, would I trust them to be a good mother or father to a child, or to be really good to an animal, a pet? Do I believe that they have the capacity to bond to the needs of a nonverbal living creature and be good to it? And I'm wondering if she's a little bit surprised that maybe that wasn't part of her criteria before. Looking for somebody powerful doesn't mean that they're also going to be a good mother or father. Power could just be power hungry, could be swaggering, could be somebody who wants to wield power for their own, self-importance, or because they're very driven and they want to make changes in this world, which could be a great application of power. But if she really is realizing what I'm drawn to is warmth and somebody that I could see, first and foremost, could they be someone that I could have trust that they would care about something as little and innocent and needing of protection as an infant? I'm wondering if that's what she's attracted to now. And she didn't even realize that that was such a fundamental thing. To me, that would say volumes about what she had been missing in a previous connection. Maybe she didn't really feel safe. Maybe she felt like, oh, I was part of a power couple, but I never really felt like they had my back or that they were that nurturing with me. Maybe she was always, I could almost picture that she had been in kind of like a slightly more cold but powerful dynamic. But I think what she's realizing is, but I want the sun. I want warmth. There's a reason she keeps wanting the sun. I feel like she wants somebody warmer. And I'm thinking that she did not have somebody that was warm and soft. I think she had somebody that was maybe calculating and powerful, but also turned out to be corrupt. I know I said I'm not going to talk about them anymore, but even their absence, what isn't there, still keeps showing up because we keep seeing what she wants, and we're seeing all these repetitious cards, right? We got the Sun twice, we got the Empress twice, we've got her choosing something different, and she's even trying to sort out, what is it that I'm hungry for? Why is it that I'm drawn to somebody, but I can't put my finger on what is it about them that I like? It's not that I think they're oh so sexy. It's not sex appeal right out of the gate. Doesn't mean that they aren't sexy, but she's just saying that's not my first thing, and they're not someone I would normally go for. What is this je ne sais quoi? What is this certain something that they have that I know I want? Look at that. She's looking for somebody that is marriage material, genuinely marriage material. And we can say, well, again, do I want marriage where it's like me and my very high profile partner are going to live in a mansion and we drive fancy cars and we go on fancy trips and we look like the power couple who walks in and we're always sleek, young, and beautiful? Or do we want the kind of marriage where it's like me and my partner, we have this happy family and we drive a beat up station wagon with, our kiddos and we, whatever, grow a garden together and we play out in the yard and get dirty together. It's all about like which lifestyle of power couple she would want to have. And I'm not trying to cast shade on one or the other. It just kind of seems like she's realized she wants one that's warmer. And I'm thinking one that's a little bit more like outdoorsy and a little bit more like connected to the ancestors. Even like she might also be evaluating this. Somebody who's warm and more family oriented might also be someone who's like, well, of course your Nana can come live with us. She's going to need care. We don't want to, we're going to all have to like take care of Nana as a team. She might be saying, I want a partner that would care about my family members. And I only bring that up because we have an ancestor here. treating, our elders with care, treating our babies with care. If she never quite had that in a checklist, or a previous partner or romantic option didn't actually tick those boxes, but maybe she never thought about those are boxes that I need ticked. Now she thinks about that. And that's what she's attracted to now, is somebody that's like a partner, somebody that she would have in her life, that she's like, this person, they would care about my family. They would care about the people that I care about. It's all about feeling safe and secure. She's possibly going to be marveling about this and talking an awful lot about him to a friend. I think she's falling deeply in love with somebody that she will meet that is polar opposite from what she thought would be a good partner. But it was just that, I don't know. I think that she's falling deeply in love with like the real essence of who somebody is. I definitely feel like she's going to be talking about this person to friends. And I think that they are going to be the ones that are like, God, everything you say about this person, like, it sounds like you really respect them. It sounds like you really like them. So why are you saying you're not sure if you're attracted to them when everything you say makes it sound like you're already in love with them? You love all these attributes about them. It's kind of like going to slowly dawn on her that she's in love with this person. You know what? I actually really like the like, I'll say, the awakening to what a real good partnership is for her. But let me just ask, because we didn't get there, and since Aries is going to give me one more minute, I think, what do they think of her? Hey guys. We have got the Eight of Cups. We got the Tower. What do they think about her? They can tell right out of the gate. She's walked away from something. She's kind of aloof. She's obviously gone through something difficult, probably because it's like, look, even if an Empress has been wounded, she still looks like an Empress, moves like an Empress, operates like an Empress. It's just her pain is internal. So he probably knows right out of the gate, whoa, this is somebody amazing. What the hell is she doing unattached? That must mean she's divorced, or she had some huge, blow up somewhere in life, because you don't usually find an Empress that doesn't have somebody holding tightly to them because they're an absolute catch. So he probably already knows, oh, she must have been with a bastard, because nobody lets go of an Empress. He already knows there's only one reason she's by herself. That's because there's a huge upheaval in her life. Seven of Pentacles. He can also sense she's probably been single for a while. She's been, there's definitely an essence to her of like strength and quality and moving slow. The World card and the Hierophant. And he's like, and that's the woman I'm going to marry. That's crazy. He knows it right out of the gate. That's the person I'm going to marry. The Hierophant, I don't know if somehow, I keep getting this distinct impression that he is incredibly connected to his own family members, his elders. He could be like, this kind of gives a vibe of like, like a small community, and it's like, oh, our local chaplain or local preacher or something is like really important in the community. Also, he could have a really strong faith-based, like belief system, and like spending time with the community. It just feels like he is very focused on whatever his community and family is. That's really important to him. And it's like, I want her to be a part of my world. It's very nice. It's very nice. He knows right out of the gate that she belongs in his world. She belongs with him somehow. Well, I don't know, but this could be one of those stories where she goes on what she thinks is going to be a short vacation and instead meets somebody that is the love of her life. And she may, wind up moving there. What became a vacation spot becomes a place that she winds up living permanently. All because this person wants her in his world. That's how it speaks to me. In his eyes, she's already like, he knows this is the person he's going to marry. We do have Aries here. We do have Taurus, and we also have Capricorn. Well, I love how completely straightforward he is. He doesn't doubt what he knows to be true. And he's pretty spot on. I would say that's a very intuitive person. That makes sense that he would be that King of Wands, because he leads with his heart. He doesn't have any discord in what his heart knows. He's not somebody who has to doubt that, because I don't think he plays any games, not with himself and not with other people. I like him for her. I think that's a great partner. That's like exactly what she needs, or at least that's exactly what I think. This storyline gives me really good vibes for them. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this here. You guys, hi. All right, you guys. I'll see you later on. Bye. My pleasure, you guys. Thanks for being here. Bye. Shall we go? Shall we go? Yes.